Hello, it's Gem Games here once again, and in this video we are going to actually add the grenade icon and the grenade counter to the screen, and also create all the functionality for that. So yeah, let's get started. First we want to create a new structure. Let's call this little, oh, where did it go? Oh, there, little struct. And let's open it. Let's move it next to the first person map. And now here on the little struct, what we want to do, we want to, actually, let's go back to the first person map. Let's create another thing here. Let's go to the enum folder and let's create an enumeration, I mean. And this will be called littles. Okay? We will call this littles because we will later on add also specials or something like that. Like, you know, monkey bombs and stuff like that. But yeah, let's open this. Here, let's add a enumerator. The first one, let's call it none. So this is our slot when we don't have any like throwables, littles at the moment. Let's add another one, and this will be called our grenade. Okay, that we have created. Later we can add here more things. Let's save. Let's actually close this. And here, the first variable will be called, let's call it little, just. Okay? And the variable type should be, let's search for a little, I don't know how to pronounce that, but yeah, little, like that. The next variable will be called little actor. Okay? And the variable type will be grenade, class reference, not the object, class reference, because we want to get the reference to the whole class, like this. Okay, let's add another variable. This will be called time, and it will be type float. The next one will be called damage, and it will also be float. And third float will be called radius. Okay. And now let's add another, and let's change this type to integer, and this will be the max amount, because we want to know how many we can hold or like carry these at the time, you know. And let's add one more variable. This will be called icon. This will be the icon that we can see on our HUD. This variable type should be slate brush, like that, slate brush. Now let's save. We can actually close this. Now let's go to the blueprints and let's create a data table. And let's select our little struct. Okay. And let's call this data table little, oh, not with capital, little tt, like that. Let's open it. Let's add a row. And why is this looking like this? Okay, it doesn't matter. I'm just wondering why this is not on the full screen, but okay, it doesn't matter. So the row 1, let's click on this row from here and let's call it 1 also. The little will be none, little actor will be none, time, everything will be 0 basically. Okay? Now let's add another row, and let's call this row 2. Oh, 2. Now let's select our little actor, will be the grenade, and our little actor, little will be grenade, which is basically, we are setting this system so now when we add or change the grenades or anything like that, we can select from this list what we want to add, so we don't have to go by the index like in the weapons. And we can later on change those to work with the same system also. But yeah. Little actor will be the grenade, of course. We don't have anything else. Time, let's make it 5 seconds. Damage, let's make it 1000. And radius, let's make it 500. And max amount, let's make it like 4. And here on the icon, let's open it. Let's search for a grenade indicator. We have this, we can use this with this also. Now, the image size. How big is our image? I actually don't know, but I think this doesn't matter because we will set it on the widget. Okay, now we can save. We can close this. And the next thing, what we actually want to do, we want to go to the PP first person character. And we have to add here a few variables and functions. Okay, so let's add a new function. Let's call this set new lethal. And also we are starting to get so many functions that we will have to start categorizing these. So let's start it right now. And I think I will make like another episode where we just clean the project and make it easier to read. But yeah, the category, let's call this category like you can call it lethal or like, let's call it throwable lethal or something like that. I don't know, throwable lethal, I think it's correct. Now, here on the set new lethal, what we want to do, we want to add an input which will be called new throwable, which will be the type of lethal. Actually, why did I call this new throwable? Let's call it new throwable lethal or whatever. You can call it whatever you want, but yeah. I just want to specify it because we will get some special things later on. But yeah, now it's set on the lethals. Now we want to do, after this, we want to get data table row names. Now the data table will be the lethal data table. Out row names, we want to get the length of the list. And then we want to do a for loop. Not for each loop, for loop. And let's actually mark this as favorite. For loop. Okay. Let's connect it here. Let's connect this length to the last index. But now we don't want to start from the 0. No. We want to start from the 1. From 1 to the length of this. Because our data table starts from index 1, not from 0. Now what we have to do is we want to right click and get data table row here. From here at the bottom, this one, get data table row none from the loop body. Now we want to select our lethal data table again. And now we want to get from the index and we want to string and from here to the row. I don't know if we try to do it straight. I don't know why it doesn't do this double converting thing for you, but this way it will work. So we are basically getting the row name by index. The row by index. So the next thing what we want to do is we want to get from this out row and we want to break lethal struct. Because we want to move this a little bit further down like this. So you will understand soon. Now what we want to do, we want to get the lethal and we want to check if it's equal to our, let's right click and get new throwable lethal, which is this input pin here. Okay. And we want to check if these are equal. And actually we cannot do that. Lethals enum and here lethals type. Okay, let's try again. So what I'm doing now is here on the input, Let's search for littles enum. It's actually set to that. Do we have to compile? Save. Let's try again. So, new trouble. What? How is this possible? Okay, I think I got it. So we want to check if it's equal enum. We can do it with the normal equal node. But yeah, let's add a reroute. Let's select these, press Q to align. Now let's add a branch from the row found. So if these are equal, then we want to continue. So basically this code is, we are setting, when we call this function, we are setting what new little we want to set. And now we're getting the length of the thing, and then we are getting by index, and we are checking from the same data table. We're basically trying to find this same that we have set here on the start. So when we find that, then we want to get the details of it. So it will be the little actor. Actually, first we want to get the littles from here, and we want to promote this to a variable, not local variable, to variable from true. Let's add a reroute. Let's actually move this a little bit further up. Now this little, let's call this little in slot, and let's change the category to throwable little. Now we want to get the little actor, and we want to promote it to a variable. And this we want to call, it can be called little actor, but we want to set the category to throwable little. And let's move it to here. Let's add reroutes so it looks better. The time, let's promote that to a variable. This will be called like little time. And also the category, let's set it to throwable little. Let's move it here. Let's add a reroute like this. It's too far up. Sorry, down. And now damage. Let's promote it to a variable. This will be called little. Sorry, I'm a little bit tired today. Little damage, and the category will be throwable little. Now let's add a reroute. Let's move this to here. Let's move this little reroute to some better position like this. Now the radius, let's promote it to a variable. Let's call it, of course, little radius, and the category will be throwable little like this. Let's add a pin. Okay, and max amount, let's promote that to a variable. Let's call it little max amount, and category will be the throwable little, of course. Let's add the reroute there, and the icon, let's promote that also to a variable. Add a reroute. Let's see if it's good. It is now, and this will be called little icon, and of course category will be throwable little. Now one more thing that we have to add is we want to, let's duplicate this little max amount, so it will also be on the category. Let's call this just little amount, and let's move it over the little max amount to there. Okay, now let's compile. Let's save. After we have set all these, what we want to do is we want to add littles. So basically same as set max ammo or set ammo or stuff like that. So let's create a function. Let's call this add littles, and the category will be throwable little, and the input should have two things. It should have set to max, and it should be boolean, and the other one should be amount. So if we don't set it to max, we want to set by this amount. Then let's add a sequence. So S and left click, and let's add a branch on the 10 0, and we want to check if we set to max. Set to max, and if we are setting to max, then we want to come here. We want to get our lethal max amount, and we want to get our lethal amount, and we want to set it true. So we're setting our lethal amount to our lethal max amount, basically. So we're setting them to full. And if we are not setting the max, then what we want to do is we want to get the lethal amount, and we want to add to it. And what we want to add is the amount from the bottom here, which is the here. We want to add the amount to there. And after that, we want to set the lethal amount from the false. Add a rewrote like this. Let's actually move it a little bit further down, like this. So we're setting the lethal amount. After that, we want to check if it's greater than the max amount, so we don't go over that. We want to check like this. Let's actually move this here. Let's move this whole thing a little bit like that. Let's add a branch. So if it's greater than the max amount, then we want to just get this from here, lethal max amount, but we will set to lethal amount. This. And if it's not over, then we don't have to do anything. Now on the 10.1, what we have to do is, now we have to actually create yet another function. Let's call this lethal update HUD, something like that. And let's set it to throwable lethal. Okay, now let's go back to add littles, and from the 10.1 we want to just call this, so we don't have to worry about this later on. Let's compile, let's save all, and I will take a little sip from my drink. Okay, the next thing is we want to go back to the set new lethal, and here after all we have set all these variables, what we want to do is we want to add lethals, and we want to set to max because we are setting a new item, so we want to set it to max. After that we want to call the lethals update HUD. Okay, like that. Now let's compile, let's save, and now we want to create one more function. This will be called can throw lethal, and the category will be throwable lethal. And here on the can throw lethal, we want to get is reloading, changing, and not boolean. And also we want to get the lethal amount. Then we want to get if this is greater than 0. So if we are not reloading or changing and our lethal amount is greater than 0, then we want to check that both of these are true. So end boolean. And then let's add a output called output, just return value or something like that. And let's make it Boolean. Oh, move it here and let's connect this to here. And let's make this pure like that. Let's compile, save. Let's go to the event graph. And here on our input action throw lethal, on the first branch, we want to delete this and we want to get our can throw lethal. Okay. Then what we want to do, we want to go here at the end where we spawn the lethal. And we want to select all these and right click and collapse the function. And let's call this function spawn lethal. And you know, knew it, the category is throwable lethal, of course. Now let's move it here. Let's double click to open it. And let's make this a little bit cleaner. And let's move this spawn actor a little bit further there. And let's clean this a little bit. It's actually pretty clean already. Let's just align those. And yeah. Now what we want to do here is, I actually don't like that. I will move here. Okay, now it looks better. So what I want to do, or what we have to do here now, is we have to get our lethal actor. Let's get it here, and let's connect it to the class. We want to get our lethal time. And then we want to connect the lethal time. We want to get also the radius, sorry, the damage first. So let's leave the radius there at the bottom. And the damage to here. Let's connect damage. Let's connect the radius. Let's move the whole thing even further. And yeah, now we have set everything here. After that, what we want to do, one more thing here, is we want to get our lethal amount. And we want to get from it a minus minus, so decrement integer. So we will -1 from it. Okay. Now let's compile. Let's save all. Let's leave the BP first person character open. Let's go to the first person map and to the HUD and to the player HUD here. And here on the player HUD, let's go to the graph. Let's find some empty space. It's not actually looking good. I want to clean this also later on. And here, let's right click, create a custom event. And let's call it like update lethal. And it's not actually good here because it will be a little bit longer code. So let's get it from here and let's get some another place. We'll clean this later. Okay, update lethal. Okay, now let's go back to the PP first person character. And here on the lethals update, we want to just get our HUD ref. And we want to update lethals. We will add more code here later, I think. So that's the reason why I created this function here also. Now we have two of these, but yeah. But one thing, because I'm not sure if we have created the HUD reference on the begin play. So let's go to the event graph. Let's go to the begin play. Where is it? It's here. Let's move this whole begin play thing more up. And let's delete background, kind of like that. Let's move this further and let's add a sequence to here. Now from the 10.1, what we want to do is we want to get all actors of class. Let's add a rewrote here. And we want to get our HUD ref. No, sorry, player, blah, blah, blah. Ah, sorry, I'm stupid. Get all widgets of class. Get all widgets of class. And now we want to get our player HUD. Connect here. We want to get 0 reference, and we want to get our set hard ref. This connect here. Let's connect here, and that will do it. So let's compile. Let's save. Now we have to do the things on the player HUD widget. So here in this update little, we want to get our player ref. We want to get the little in slot. Let's actually move them like this for some reason. And we want to check if it is not equal enum, if it's not equal to none. Okay, let's add a branch. So if it's something else than none, so basically if we have some little on the slot, then what we want to do is we want to, we have to go to designer and do some things there first. So let's do it now. Let's go to designer, and here we have this little slot. So what we want to do here, what do I actually want to do here? We have this little slot. And this little slot, what we want to add is a border. We want to move it under there. And let's call this little icon, and let's make it variable. Okay. And here on the little icon, we want to add another border. This will be called little amount border or something like that. And this I will show you soon. Now let's get a text. Let's move it under the little amount border. And here on the text, let's set this text to like 4. It doesn't matter. Now the font, let's make it 16, or I actually at least want to make it 16. And here on the font, we want to bottom align vertically and left align horizontally, like this. So, and the padding, let's set all these to 0. Okay. Now let's rename this text to little amount. Now the little amount border, we want to, we'll have to check this. We want to align it to the bottom left corner also. And we want to set the brush here. Brush. I think I should set it. Oh, here, brush color. Sorry, I'm a little bit tired. Let's set this to black and let's make it like 0.5, something like that. 0.6 maybe. Okay, you can obviously adjust it however you want, but you might be starting to see what we are going after. And now, the little icon, we have this content here. We have content padding. Let's set all these to 0. Now it should fill the whole box. And the next thing is we actually want to add to this text so it always has space before and space after, so it looks like this. I think the background looks better when it's a little bit bigger. So now we want to create binding. Let's call this binding. Sorry, one sec. I'm checking. Oh, I'm stupid. Let's call this little amount binding or whatever. Let's move this a little bit further. And what we want to do here, we want to get our player ref. And we want to get a little amount. Then we want to move this even further and get from this and format text. Why do we want to do this? Is we want to add a space, bracket, amount, bracket, and space. So now it will always have these spaces before and after, and we can connect this to the amount. Like that. So let's compile, let's save, and let's go to the event graph. And here on the event graph, on the update little, what we have to do, so if it's not equal to none, so we have something, then what we want to do, we want to get our little icon, if I can find it, little icon, yes, and we want to set render opacity. Let's set it from true. Let's set it to like 0.8. You can adjust this later. Let's copy this node here, connect this little icon also to there, and let's set it to 0. If we have the little slot, we don't have anything in it, then we don't want to show the icon, you know. And then here on the false, we don't have to do anything else. But after this, we want to get our little icon once again, and we want to set brush like this. Target is border. Now in brush, what we want to do is we want to get our player ref, and we want to get our get little icon, and it should go straight to here. If it doesn't, you have to change these to slate brush if you have put something else accidentally. And now when we compile, save, and actually let's go one more time to designer. Here let's select this little icon, and let's set the render opacity 0 from the game start, like that. And yeah, and one more thing, there was something, so let's compile and save all. Oh, on the BP first person character, here on the begin play, we had to add the set, one sec, I will, yeah, after this, where we set the HUD ref, we want to get our set new lethal, and we want to set it to whatever we want it to be in the game start, so grenade. Now, let's compile, and let's actually check one more thing from here. Yes, we have everything set here. So now let's go to the game, let's play, let's see what happens. Now you can see we have 4 grenades there, and amount is working, at least for now. So let's draw one. You can see now we have 3 grenades, we have 2 grenades, we have 1 grenade, we have 0, and we cannot throw no more. So yeah, I actually think that the system already works pretty nicely. So yeah, I think that was all for this video. If you like what you saw, please click the like button and subscribe for more. Yeah, hope you have a great day and see you on the next one.